Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to this very special Friday event with me, Julie Poole, and Patty from Willow Grace Astrology, because this is Manifesting Friday with the new moon and the huge astrological stuff that's going on this week. So let's say a big welcome to Patty.
Thank you. Thank you. I am super excited to be with you and sharing all of this amazing energy. We have this beautiful Aries stellium that is building. We had the Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 back in February that started something brand new with our dreams and our hopes and dissolving the old and the building of a new foundation. And then we have the sun moving into it, which is our identity of this is what I want to go after. And then we have Mars coming into Aries saying, this is it. This is what I want to cut, sever, remove in order to move forward with my best and highest good of this is what I want to grow and manifest. And we have the moon swooping in, and it is going to be here with a new moon on Friday, and it's in a conjunction, meaning it's merging its energy with Chiron, known as the wounded healer. And so new moons are times that we plant seeds, fresh start, clean slate, new beginning. And then it's conjunct with Chiron saying, let's heal the wounds from the past and let's charge through and cut away anything that doesn't serve us well, move towards our dreams. And so this new moon, this time period right now is this pivotal moment of fire and flame and divine timing, not just individually, but for the collective as a whole. And I'm super excited to be sharing this with you.
Yeah, it's amazing, amazing energy. I mean, the way that it is tying in with what is going on is phenomenal. So, my beautiful people, it's tea and tarot time with Julie and astrology and some manifesting. So, get yourself a cup of tea, put your feet up. We're going to be looking at what's going on for the coming week on the back of this new moon and why this energy is so powerful to carry us forward. I'm Julie Poole. Welcome. It's lovely to have you here. So, we're going to do some tarot after, but I want to talk about this incredible energy of this week. So let's go into it a little bit more with Patty. Some of you will have seen the announcement video I put up yesterday about my big secret. We're going to be talking about that and the timing of that announcement coming out this week when this has been in the works for a year. So why now? Why this week? Patty, tell us all.
So we are now on a new eclipse cycle. We are now the old in the past is being eclipsed and sent away. And we all have been working individually and collectively towards a new goal. Aries energy is the I. It is our self and how we have to put ourselves in the forefront, but then know that we're also part of the collective. And with this, it's no like there is no mistake with all of this energy. It's called a stellium when you have three or more planets in an area in a house in your chart. So you look to your whole sign house, Aries, and you say, all right, what is going on here? This is where all of this energy about the truth about what I'm manifesting and divine timing and how we're making this happening. And so this is all about you and us and we.
Yeah, it is. And you know, if you're not an Aries and you don't know much about astrology, let me just explain. I'm not an Aries either. This is for everybody. Okay, what we've got
Yes.
going on this week is I think six or seven different planets all in
Mhm.
Aries at the same time this week. And Aries is about the I, the self, and the new moon is about the new. And all these planets coming in are creating this energy that is a breakthrough energy for
Mhm.
everybody. And that is what is just making this energy so very different for this week and exciting. Tell us more, Patty.
So each planet rules over a house in astrology, and when they come together, they magnify the energy and they light up the rest of your chart. So it doesn't matter if you're an Aries. Everybody has Aries somewhere in their chart. And when we look at it, we say, this is about my identity. This is about my dreams with Neptune. This is about healthy boundaries and things that I want to create and build. Saturn has the rings around it. So we look at that and say, I want to have these goals. And these are about goals that we've been working on, goals that we've been releasing, manifesting, finishing, and now new goals that will take us into a new 3-year cycle. So everybody has all of this going on. And now that Mars has joined and Mercury, it literally lights up our entire chart and says, right here, this changes everything. This is how we're going to make it happen. And yeah, this is about things picking up speed and manifesting and the divine timing of moving faster.
Yeah, let's just talk about this timing for a minute. So, for those of you who haven't seen my announcement yesterday, I announced a 3 book deal with Penguin Random House, Michael Joseph, for my From Hoping to Having books. So, let's just look at the timing of that. It's nearly a year ago. It was in May when I was in Florida, in Orlando, doing my From Hoping to Having event. And I was discussing this with my child, my son, who was there with me, and I was saying to him, look, this book, these 2 books, From Hoping to Having, have sold a lot of books, and I really feel that it's the right time now to move out of self-publishing and see if I can get a literary agent and see if I can get a publishing deal. This was the dream when I wrote the book in 2022, and I tried very hard to get a deal and an agent, and I didn't get anywhere. But Spirit kept saying to me, it's not quite yet. Self-publish it. It's not quite yet. And then last May, I got like, yes, now you're gonna, when you get home, you're gonna go and try and find an agent, and we're gonna bring it together for you. This is gonna happen. So when I got home, I put together over the next few weeks, and I'm not a marketer, and I'm not very good at sort of self-promotion and sales, but I put together a kind of pitch letter. This is me, Julie Poole. I've got a big following. I sold a lot of these books. They've made a huge difference in people's lives. The Amazon stars are 4.8, which apparently is very high. The reviews are amazing of people saying how it's helped transform their lives and improve their lives. And so I put it all together, and then I gave it to my daughter, who works for me. And I said to her, I want you to find me a literary agent and go out to 8, 9, or 10, and the right one will come. And so she said, when do you want me to do this? And I said, the 8th of August, Lion's Gate, which is the biggest, most powerful manifesting day of the year. So she sent it out on the 8th of August. And on the 8th of September, I signed a contract with a main literary agent in London, who said, I'm going to put this out to multiple publishers and we'll see what we get. And I said, I want Penguin, the number one, the biggest. And he said, oh, that's not very realistic. That's unlikely, highly unlikely to happen. But, I'll send it out. We'll see what happens. Now, this is the thing with manifesting. You don't let anybody else dissuade you. You don't let other people's doubts say your dream is impossible. My dream was Penguin Random House. And 4 weeks later, I signed, well, I didn't sign. 4 weeks later, I got a book deal offer from Penguin Random House. And Michael Joseph, which is a huge imprint part of Penguin, agreed to buy the whole series. So missed a bit there, because in the middle of that, I was in the middle of writing the 3rd book, From Hoping to Having, Spiritual Connection. And I thought, if I don't get an agent and I don't get a deal, I will publish this myself at Christmas, because this is the one that people are waiting for, that is more spiritual. The first one is all about the law of attraction. Get in your power, figure out how to manifest, understand it. It fills in the missing pieces of the manifesting jigsaw, tells you exactly what to do. So I got a 3-book deal with Penguin. That was the dream. It happened. And a few weeks later, I was invited up to London to meet them all. And the film I did yesterday, the video I did yesterday, shows you that. I wanted to bring you on that journey with me because I wouldn't be here without you. This would not be happening without you. So I really wanted to share that with you. And so finally, the contracts were signed in early February. It took months, and they told me I'm not allowed to say anything or announce it. I've got to keep my mouth shut. And me and secrets, we don't go well together. But keeping that secret was really, really hard. And even when we signed the contracts, they said, no, not yet. We will do the joint announcement when everything is in place. And so I just had to wait with my patience hat on, which is very fragile. I just had to wait. And then eventually they said to me, okay, we're ready. When is a good date for you? And I hadn't kind of asked anything or asked Patty or looked at astrology. I just said the 16th. I want it on the 16th. And turns out that's the new moon. It hits on the 17th, but the energy's building on the 16th. And so finally, the news is out, and I could share that with you and give you the links to pre order it and just share it all with you, which was incredibly exciting. But I find the whole thing with divine timing so ridiculously coincidental and perfect. It is staggering because, as Patty just said there, it's like last year we were building up to this, and now here we are at that point of, right, this is energy now, which is brand new. And now we're setting the scene for the next 3 years. And I smiled when Patty was just saying that because the publishers have said to me, this is a 3 year journey to launch a book, to get it out worldwide, to get the translation rights, to get it out in multiple languages is a 3 year journey. And that journey begins now. The book is being launched on the 18th of June. But I love this 3 year thing because Spirit told me in 2020 that between my ages of 62 and 65, things would open up massively. And I was 62 on September the 9th. And the day before my birthday, I signed that literary agent's contract just as I was hitting 62. And that's just perfect. And here we are, Patty, saying about this 3 year manifesting that's coming on the back of this new moon as of today. So tell us more about that, Patty.
Well, if I could take you back to when you were in Florida, this was the stage of Neptune is dissolving, releasing, letting go of, is this really what I want? And it takes away choices. And Saturn was moving towards, I have to, this is my dream. And when the two of them are coming together, Neptune will, and that you're using your own books as you're taking your own advice and saying, this is what I want to manifest. This is my dream, and I'm not going to listen to anybody else. That's very Saturnian. Saturn says it's the keeper of time. It is the person who has to say, I will wait with delayed gratification. And that's exactly what you have been asked to do. And you were tasked with, this is my dream, Neptune, and this is Saturn. I can wait. I can have this delayed gratification. And then when all of the planets come together, we've got Mercury joining here, which is writing, and it's email, phone, text. And you had to work through the time period around that Christmas, and that was the Mercury retrograde of, let's go back and forth, and we've got the holidays. And then you pull into the January, February. That's when everything started to come together. Normally in January, people put out New Year's resolutions. And I always say, wait for the new moon and put it out there then. Your chart was lighting up saying, this is your time. This is everything that you've waited for. And then Mars comes in and says, and now let's cut this. Let's sever this. Let's make this happen. And I know that you had to go back and as you were working through this, you were going back and you added more to your books.
Oh, huge,
So
massively.
huge.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
you need to talk about that because I have read, I understand it, but we've had conversations about you added in layers of this is how I'm going to get here. So share more about that.
oh, it was, I mean, for me, letting go of control was one of the hardest things. Oh, I mean, I'm a Virgo, and and
I was
I've been
there.
I've been a self-published author now for 12 years, and I've done it all on my own. I did the audiobooks on my own. I did the writing, the producing, everything. I had help with the book covers, but I did it all on my own. So the minute that my book came back to me from the Penguin authors, sorry, the Penguin editors saying, right, we have finished ripping your book apart and, taking out this and changing that. It was really hard, and I expected them to basically take control and take over. And they didn't, because the first things I was looking at saying, no, you can't take that out. That's a core principle of the law of attraction. And I went back to them really nervously, like, am I allowed to argue with you? Am I allowed to disagree? And they were like, yeah, no problem. Okay, you're the expert. We don't know anything about the law of attraction. And so we then started going to this collaborative kind of way of working that went on for the best part of 2.5, 3 months, where they would say, we don't understand this. What does this mean? Because they're not law of attraction people, they're editors, they're not spiritually aware. They're, in the corporate world. So for them, they were reading through it and saying, I don't understand this. Or how does that tie in with that? How does that work then? There were loads of questions. So I was coming back with my answers, and they said, look, we are going to push this book out to the masses who are not spiritually aware. We need you to be much more explaining, much more basic, much more tell it to me as if I know nothing, because they didn't know anything. And so what unfolded over the next 2 or 3 months was that book not just being improved in terms of it's tighter and there's no repetition and there's no mistakes and the punctuation's perfect and all the rest of that, but it was much more. I probably added in another 20%. The book has grown by about a fifth in terms of clearer explanations, tying things together better, until it was so polished and it made so much sense to anybody who picked that book up that it finally works. And that's the new version. And then we had new covers, new book cover, which I love. And they sent it back and forth to me. Are you happy with this? Do you want to tweak that? I had a lot of say and a lot of input. And then the final part is the Audible, which is going to be completely fresh recording, which I'm doing in 3 weeks with Penguin audio producers and a PR team and all of these kind of, my goodness me, I've got a whole team around me now holding me and holding this book, because it's our baby now and it's my baby, but they're sharing it. And one of the things that was really important for me as well, because as you guys know, I read all your comments, and as does Patty, read all the comments on her channel. And there was a lot of feedback about my book in terms of things like, is it in other languages, and can we get it not in Amazon? I don't like Amazon, I'm not buying from Amazon. And I had to come back to them and say, no, you can't. I'm a self-published author. I can't get it into Waterstones and Barnes and Noble. I can't get it in other languages. So when Penguin came forward with this, they said, oh yeah, we'll do translation rights. We'll get it out in multiple languages. It's going to be in every bookstore worldwide. You'll be able to get it. So it's going to be in Barnes and Nobles. You don't have to buy it from Amazon, but you can if you want to. And it'll be on ebook and it'll be on Audible, but it will also be in a store near you, kind of thing. And all of that's going to be rolled out from June the 18th across. There will be now in the US and Canada, Australia, New Zealand. We'll be able to get it into South Africa. So I know I've got a lot of supporters there as well. And then the translation rights will be coming sometime in the next year or so. They'll be in Italian and Spanish and Portuguese and Dutch and German and all of, and it's just, I want this book to reach as many people as it can because it changes lives, it transforms lives, it shows you how to live your best life, and it gives you every tool that you need to do it. And that's what my job is to empower you to create your best life. Not just for me to say this is what you've got to do. It shows you that you can take that information and you can create and manifest. Because when I wrote that book, I had transformed my life in every way over the previous few years. And I shared that knowledge in the book. And then for me, the next manifestation was to take it to the next level, to have it in different languages, to have it in airports, to have it in major stores. And that's what we're now moving into. It's phenomenal. It's exciting. The second book, From Hoping to Having Wealth and Success, we'll be working on towards the end of the year. That'll be released soon. And then the brand new book, The Spiritual Connection, that's coming next year. So it's all happening, and it's all happening in the next 3 years. And it's starting right now.
Yeah. And this is going to be this is building. And part of this new moon is its conjunct Chiron. This not only heals your identity wound, Aries is our identity, but you take your lessons, your growth, and you say, I'm going to share my experiences and I'm going to share my wisdom, my knowledge, and I want to support you. I want to help you. That is the right now the eclipses are going through Leo and Aquarius. And so Leo is the I and rawr, the lion, and then Aquarius is community. So how does one person support and help the community? Well, this is your contribution. This is not just you saying, I'm going to work with one person one-on-one or keep it to myself. You are making this available, and this is about the next level of your journey. And how do you support other people so that they can work through their own? Everybody is on their own path, but this is taking wisdom and knowledge and saying, these are some actionable steps that can support you. And I, you sharing your journey. I mean, like to put everything into those books is very vulnerable. And we have had multiple conversations about it. And to be able to share it with others because you had to go back and rework, relive, and poured your heart and soul into this. This is a baby. And Aries energy is the brand new, think of it as the chick coming out of the egg. It's the birth of something new. And this is what you are creating. And I am excited to just be on this journey with you and to support you and love everything about this. And things are going to now start picking up pace. Because Aries is let's move fast. It's like you start running and then you end up running down the hill and you just have to keep your balance. And that's where all of this is going to happen. Everything is just going to speed up for you. And this speeds up healing. So this is you saying, how can I help you to heal? What does this inner shift look like? And how can you manifest yourself? And it's divine timing. Like you are a classic case of just following your chart through these many months and the highs and the lows, and then the what do you get when you trust and you follow. And I love this for you. I absolutely love this for you. And I think my favorite is going to be the last book because it literally pulls everything together.
Yeah, it
So,
does.
yeah,
It does.
yeah.
But this journey of manifestation for me is also about you. All right. This
Hmm.
energy that we've got this week is very much about the new moon, all of these
Hmm.
planets in Aries this week, this huge, intense energy of new, of breakthrough, of moving it forward. So, yes, I've shared my journey here and told you about the book. Links are below, of course. But let's move into the tarot now and let's look how we can manifest this energy from the new moon and all of these planets moving forward over the next few weeks. So I just want to pull a few cards, and we'll be discussing them with Patty as well as how they tie in with the astrology. So what do we have for this coming week for the collective? Because you too are manifesting, my beautiful people. You too are in this energy of moving beyond what
Mm.
has been hard and heavy, moving beyond the effort, the struggle. You know, when we just discussed me and my book over the last year, I've needed patience, I've needed trust, I've needed an effort and time and hours of editing and re-editing and patience, and it's been an effort. And so what is it for you? Because this is the energy for the collective, not just me. The Nine of Wands is the battle weary soldier. He's tired, he's exhausted, but he's nearly there. The number 9 is the card of nearly there. 10 is completion. And so whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, you're not giving up at this stage, my beautiful person. Oh, no, 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 and hell no. You're going to keep pushing through because you are so close. That breakthrough is happening right now. If it hasn't shown up for you yet, the way it has for me, this week, yesterday, being able to do the announcement, but this has been in the works for a year. And so what have you got going on in the works? What have you got going on in the background? You are nearly there. Don't you dare give up. All right, you're going to push through. This is a kind of resilience, of belief in yourself that I can do it. Because in a minute, when he's had a little rest sitting on that step, he's going to get his backside up and he's going to get to the top of those steps. And when he stands there, he's going to go, yay! And so are you. All right, I'm going to pull another 2 and then I'm going to hand it over to Patty to see what she says about these cards. All right, so I want that one. Well, hello, the 10 of
Mm.
Cups with the Hermit. All right, and so these two manifesting, these are manifesting cards, right? The 10 of Cups is the wish, the dream, the fulfillment, the enrichment. It is feeling that wholeness of nothing's missing. It's there now. It's there. And I can feel it. I can feel it in my heart. I can feel it in my gut. I can feel it in my world. And I can feel it in my life. The 10 of Cups is everything that you want. Now, with it coming in with the Hermit, which is the Virgo card, we know I'm a Virgo, but the Hermit is much more than being Virgo. It is a card of your own light shining, of you coming out of the darkness, of you coming out from, many of us have been in hermit mode. I certainly have, many of you have too. And you've been focusing on what your own light means to you. And now you're ready to share that light, shine that light. But the Hermit is a card about self-reflection, self-awareness, figuring out, who am I? What do I want? What's important to me? And for many of you, like me, a big identity shift. For me, shifting from being a self-published author to a Penguin author was a massive step up. And it was frankly scary as hell. And, there were so many parts of me. Am I ready? Am I good enough? Am I kidding myself? Of course I had those questions because they're part of being humble, being real, being vulnerable. But as those questions came up, I reassured myself, I'm ready or it wouldn't be happening. I am good enough or I wouldn't be here. But it's more, it's going in saying, why does this matter? Why is this important to me? Whatever your dream is, because the Hermit is focusing on, what do I want? This isn't selfish. This isn't not caring about other people. But this is about the time to bring it into you. What matters to me? What matters to my life, to my future, to my health, to my well-being, to my happiness. And once you figure that out, you step into the manifesting, the creating. And remember, this is a new moon where you sow those seeds, where you plant those seeds. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. So what do you think, Patty, of those cards?
I think they're absolutely perfect. Remember that Aries energy is the warrior. And and all of these planets are saying, I have to be my own warrior. And if I get tired, I'm going to pause for a second, but I'm going to continue up those steps. The steps represent Saturn. The dream, the Neptune is at the end. We just have to go slow and steady. And then the Ten of Cups is going to be the end of this is what I get. This is the reward. Now, I love the Hermit card. I'm a Virgo rising, and to me, the Hermit card is also I can only see one day in front of me. I am a slow and steady with this progress, and that's part of this Aries new moon. I'm initiating something, I'm going after something, but I don't know what the end really looks like. I have faith and belief and dreams and this is where I'm going. But we don't know. And this takes this from a personal story to like the collective that everybody is initiating something new and they don't know what is ending and where it's going to be in the end, because Aries is the initiation. I have to be courageous. I have to be able to take that first step and keep going. And the stellium is the energy that brings the acceleration, the activation to say, yes, I've rested. I'm going to keep going and I'm going to heal my wound. I'm going to step fearlessly into something new, but we don't know what it looks like. We're going to take one day at a time because the hermit is it's you have this light and it's just slow and steady. It's we don't need to rush into it. This is calculated, thought out, one step at a time, divine timing, and what is shaping. Because what started at the new moon, like the book is not like here, it's in the works. We see what the new moon brings weeks down the road. And so that is part of your timing. Everybody has this going on. Everybody's starting something new. And Aries energy, it doesn't wait until you're full ready. It just says get up, go.
It's
We're
action.
pulled. It's
Absolutely, it's
action.
action.
It is
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
action.
Don't wait, action. I mean, I finished recording all 12 signs for the rest of April and into early May. They're all up now. I'll put the playlist at the end. But every single one had endings, beginnings, action, action,
Mhm.
action. But in slightly different ways, depending on the star sign it was for. But we're all in this energy collectively of, right, the new. And this is the first new moon of the new astrological year. So this is the
Yes.
sign, this is the time we are absolutely sowing those seeds now. So I want you to, all of you, really think about what seeds you're sowing. Let's finish off with an angel message because I don't want to bore you too much and we've been here a long time. Are you still with me? Let me know in the comments if you're still here with me and Patty. All right, so from the Oracle of the Angels, look at this. We have higher thought. Higher
Mm.
thought. There's this beautiful energy of higher thought. So we're rising. It's a number 10. It's completion. It's new beginnings. 10 comes down to a 1. You are stepping into the highest version of your life. So what are you doing with it? Let's manifest your reality into something that is beyond what you were dreaming about 10 years ago, that you're ready to step into the best version of you. So thank you for joining us. A huge thank you to Patty for being here. Thank you, my lovely. Check out Willow Grace. The links are below. Go and have a look at her channel. Subscribe. Go over there because this is where I get my astrology information from. So thank you, Patty.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate you.
You're very welcome. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and thank you for joining us. You take care. Lots of love. Bye bye.